Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the channel if it's your first time tuning in here. My name is David, and today I would like to share with you 3 podcasts that have been absolutely life-changing for me. Before I do so, I would just like to share with you where I'm coming from with this one. So about 2 or 3 years back, I stumbled upon the concept of filling up your gap time with learning activities or activities that can make you feel happier and just more productive. If you're like me, you probably have to get ready in the morning, you probably have to take a shower, brush your teeth, walk or take a bus, or at least commute, right? And so many more activities. But just for the sake of this example, if we're just talking about driving and commuting, I mean, I work from home now, but it used to take me about 1.5 hours to 2 hours for a round trip to work and back to home. That's a lot of time. And if you compound it over a week, that's 10 hours. Over a month, that's 40 hours. And over a year, that was 480 hours. And we're just talking about commuting, right? Driving. It was the same thing for me going to school. When I realized that I was spending about 20 days a year driving or just in the bus going to school and back home, my mind was blown. So this is why I decided to take a different approach and implement something new, filling up gap time with a lifetime. You know, how can I capitalize on every second that I have by learning something new? So this is where I come in with the podcast and audiobooks. You know, it's been really life-changing, and I really recommend you do the same if you haven't. I used to listen to the radio and music, but I just didn't really feel fulfilled, and I was constantly stressed and reacting to my surrounding, you know, to the traffic and to everything around me. It's easy to start the day on the wrong foot, especially if you drive and you commute all the time. Everyone is in a rush. Everyone is just doing their thing. And what I found has helped me a lot is listening to a nice podcast in the morning. So without any further ado, let me share with you the 3 podcasts that have been absolutely life-changing for me. The first podcast that I'll be sharing with you today is the Mellen Show from the one and only Ed Mylett. And it's number 1 on my list because it's the first one I've ever listened to. So it's also the most influential to me because I learned a lot of the topics I know today through it. And of course, a lot of the topics that he talks about are probably covered in books and whatnot, but there's something about hearing it from him. It's his energy, which I love the most. Whenever I listen to him in the morning, I'm ready to go. I'm primed for the day. Honestly, I cannot go on a day without listening to a podcast. But if I listen to his, man, I'm feeling 100. So as someone who loves mentoring and coaching, he really wants his audience to max out their lives, as he calls it. So he gives it to you straight. There's no fluff. He tells you what you need to do, what you need to implement in your life if you want to live a more fulfilled and happy life. All in all, it's a great podcast from an amazing human being. And I think the word that I would use to describe it would be wealth-being, because it focuses on happiness, mindset, your self-talk, money, but also entrepreneurship. You know, it's a very well-rounded, and honestly, the knowledge that you're going to get from this show alone is going to cover a lot of books. So do not skip out on it, guys. It's an amazing podcast that you have to listen to. Second podcast that I would like to share with you today is The Impact Theory by Tom Bilyeu. Amazing podcast that you should not skip out on. It's basically a series of interviews between him, the host, and the top achievers in the world. In every episode, you kind of embark on a journey between the two of them. And the reason why I call it a journey is because you kind of learn about their life, you know, from A to Z, you know, the events, the habits, the downfalls, the successes that have led them to where they are today. Also, the lifestyle and the set of principles that they live by. I think that ultimately, if you can try to take the good things about their lives and you implement it in yours, I really think that you're one step ahead and you're one step closer to becoming the best version of yourself. So, the thing I love about this is Tom's drive, passion, and enthusiasm. There's something about this podcast in the way that he interacts with his guests that make it a very fun and educational experience. If you're interested in becoming a better version of yourself, Tom will definitely show you that anyone can become great at anything with hard work, dedication, and the right mindset. And his intention is really for us to take the red pill and to break out of the matrix in order to become the best version of ourselves. And he does so by challenging the way that we live, the way we see the world, and helping us overcome the one thing that is stopping us from being the best version of ourselves. So it's a great podcast. There's a great focus on body and mind. And there's a recurrent theme that is mindset. And I think you cannot skip out on this. It's a great podcast. And ultimately, I think it's going to help you lead a more fulfilled life and also transform you as a whole. So I think this is probably my favorite right now. It's the one that I've been listening to the most lately. And honestly, guys, there's so many episodes. You can literally binge watch it. And there's so much for you to learn, So again, do not skip out on this one. So the third and last podcast I would like to share with you today, and I think will change your perspective in life, is On Purpose by Jay Shetty. And the word I would use to describe it is refreshing. It's like taking a breath of fresh air. In today's society, there's such a strong focus on material goods, getting more, unrealistic comparisons between ourselves and others, and also unrealistic expectations from ourselves because of what we see out there. We're becoming driven by money, reaction, and attention from others. And I think we're becoming less and less aware of ourselves. It's really hard to appreciate the things that we have right now when there's such a strong focus on what we don't have. And this is exactly where Jay comes in with a lot of insights and bits of wisdom to help you live a better life and kind of change your perspective and look at your life through a different set of lenses. Ranging from relationship advice, nutrition, mindset, self-love to confidence, I think there's a lot for you to learn and to help you live intentionally by listening to On Purpose by Jay Shetty. All in all, I think it's very inspiring and also very motivating podcast that will definitely help you change your perspective and help you live your life. What is so great about these podcasts is that they often feature highly successful and fulfilled people, the top achievers in the world. And these people often share their life experiences, their mistakes, their routines, their rituals, their life principles, and their key life lessons that they learn through their own mistakes, so that you don't have to learn it on your own. You can just literally listen to them. And I do think that if you can incorporate a few things that they do every day, you're setting yourself up for success and you're one step closer to living your best life. And the thing is, they come from various different fields, so honestly, there's a lot for you to learn. It's literally free knowledge. So I really think it's the best of both worlds. So many people listen to podcasts nowadays, and if you're not, I really recommend you do. You may not always have time to sit down and read a good book or watch a video, but there's always going to be gap time on your plate, regardless of who you are. So I think you should really complement that gap time with these learning activities. So in this case, podcast and audiobooks. It's really going to change your life, and I personally feel completely different at every podcast. I feel like I'm rewiring myself through the insights and the ways of living of the people that I listen to. That being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, I hope you found it useful, and let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are and what kind of content would you like to see me create and make. What kind of subjects would you like me to talk about? And what is one podcast that you're listening to right now? I really want to know what kind of podcasts you guys are listening to. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and I will see you next time. Thank you.